Hello there and welcome to another tutorial from AKCP. Today we're going to be having a look at securityServer and in particular adding a device to the software. So with that in mind, let's jump right in and get started. Now you'll already notice that I have the program open and displayed are the regular four windows which comprises of the desktop, the workspace, the server explorer and the help tab at the bottom. So what we want to do is add a device to the program. So to do that, we can do it in one of two ways. We need to go to the Server Explorer window, and you'll notice that we have an options, and if we left click there, we can select Add AKCP Device. Or the alternative way of doing this is going to the main menu bar at the top of the screen, clicking Add, and again Add AKCP Device. So let's go ahead and do that. Now once we've done that, we'll have a new window that displays in the center of the screen, and here we have three options. We have our hostname or IP, our username, and the SNMP right community or the password. So let's go ahead and we'll just type in the IP address of our unit. In this case it's 10.1.5.235, and then I'll go ahead and enter my password. Okay, and click Add. Now it's searched for the device, and you'll notice that immediately on the left hand side in the Server Explorer window we now have a device which has been listed, which is on 10.1.5.235. You can see it displays the IP, and it also displays the name of the unit. In this case it's a Security Probe demo unit. Now next to this we have a little plus sign. If we click that and twirl down the menu, you can see that we actually have the internal board of the Security Probe unit, but we also have some expansion modules attached to that unit as well. So you can see quite easily how this works. So let's just go ahead and click on the main board, which is the Security Probe, and we'll just twirl down the menu. And here you can see we have all the sensors which are listed on that particular probe. Now what happens if you want to view some of this sensor information? Well, what we need to do is we need to add it to the desktop. So before we go ahead and do that, let's rename the desktop something a little bit more useful rather than desktop 1. So in order to do that, we go to our workspace window, we're going to right click on desktop, and then we're going to check rename. And now you can see this becomes editable. So let's rename this sensors. And we'll click off that, and you can see now that the desktop tab has changed to sensors. Now in order to view some of the sensors which are viewed in the sensor window, all you need to do is simply drag and drop. So let's start from the top with the airflow sensor. We'll left click and drag onto the desktop. Okay, so now you can see that we have our sensor status summary window, which displays the sensor name, the host ID, its current reading and its status. Now if we wanted to add more sensors to view, for example let's say the temperature, we can add that, and again we could do motion and we could add that. Now if we keep going along this way, you could see that this particular desktop window would start to get cluttered very quickly. So let's do something a little bit different. Let's just remove the last two sensors that I added, and we'll leave the first sensor that we had on the screen. Now what we're going to do is, rather than dragging from the sensor window into the desktop window, we're going to drag into the sensor status summary window of the airflow sensor. And now you can see that we have two sensors listed in this one window. And again we can go ahead and do the same thing with as many different sensors as we choose. And you can see that obviously it makes it a lot easier and a lot more compact rather than having lots of windows on your desktop. Now that's pretty much it for adding a device in this particular tutorial. So I hope you found it useful. Be sure to check out other tutorials for further options and settings of securityServer.